Hello, beautiful souls out there. Today I want to talk a little bit about taking a break. So I was told a while ago that once you started the IVF journey, that you boarded a crazy freight train and that you never got off. And that scared the crap out of me because I didn't know if I had the energy to board that train. So at the beginning of the year, we did a couple of cycles that were very painful and were unsuccessful. And I didn't respond in the typical way, but they were experimental. They were trying to figure out the dose and what worked best for me. And I understand that, but the length of the IVF cycles were longer than usual. And they really, really, really drained me. And at the end of the second failure, I was broken and I had no energy left. And part of that was also the fact that we started the IVF journey broken. We started the IVF journey empty. It's not a good place to start. We didn't realize how empty we were. We had given ourselves a few months after my major surgery to recover and to prepare for it, but I don't think we realized how depleted we've been after years and years and years of disappointment. So we've decided to take a break for a few months. And part of it was not necessarily by choice. Both me and my husband felt like we agreed that we didn't have energy to keep going at the moment and that was okay. So we saw a counselor at one of the fertility clinics, and we told him that we had decided to take a break. And he was like, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. And we were kind of like, oh, well, we feel really at peace with our decision and we're relieved to take a break. And he was like, no, you don't really have a lot of time. You just don't have the luxury of time. You really need to keep going. You need to keep going. And he's like, you think your life is bad now? Your life is not going to be better in 3 months. And we were just blinking in surprise. We were like, we're pretty happy with our decision to take a break. Anyways, needless to say, a lot of other stuff this counselor said was pretty useless, and we left feeling worse than when we began. And then when I went to see my psychologist, I said to her, I feel weak for taking a break because I look at all these other women that continue to persevere and they just do cycle after cycle after cycle after cycle. Hardcore! And I'm like, I can't take it anymore. I need a break. My body needs a break. I need to recover. I need energy. I need to feel good. And I was like, I feel weak. Like, I obviously don't have the strength to keep going. And I compare myself to other people, and I see them as being stronger than me. And I know that we shouldn't compare. Comparison is the thief of joy. This is an overriding issue for probably everybody. But the psychologist actually said, I view it very differently from you. She said, I see you taking a break as very strong. It requires a lot of strength to be that in tune with your body, that you're respecting your body's needs, and that you are saying, nope, my body needs a break. I'm doing this. And not only that, and I hadn't thought of this, but she said, it takes so much strength to choose to prolong your suffering. I hadn't thought of that, but she had a very valid point. Because when we're taking a 3-4 month break, we're choosing to prolong our suffering. We are choosing to sit in this moment. We are choosing to sit with the uncomfortable feelings. We are choosing to delay the outcome. We are choosing to be uncomfortable for longer. And I never thought that required strength, because for me, that was the right thing to do. But in the meantime of us taking a break between cycles, we have had to deal with some demons. Oh my gosh, some things have come up that I actually had to wonder, would these things have come up if we kept going? Because if you keep going, you've got to focus, you've got to plan, and you avoid, and you're not dealing with your feelings. And the last few months, I've had multiple meltdowns, but my husband has had a major meltdown because he could no longer keep suppressing his feelings and avoiding what he was feeling, because we were sitting in this moment of pure discomfort and suffering, and it was just starting to bubble over, and it just finally had to overflow. But you know what? It's so healing to go through that. And it's not like one episode of an emotional breakdown and all of a sudden you're like, oh good, I feel better, my life is better. But you do feel better to a point. And it's almost better to start to deal with these things now than using avoidance and distraction with the IVF and getting so obsessed with that journey and the freight train, as they call it, that you're not actually dealing with what's happening in your life. And it's not been fun. I'm gonna admit it has not been fun. And it's been really uncomfortable, and it's been really challenging for our marriage and our relationship. And we've had to have some very serious conversations, and we've talked about things that we have kind of, been sweeping under the rug and avoiding for a while, but it just had to come out because we didn't have a focus, we didn't have anything else, and we chose this. We chose to be here. Well, not the infertility journey, but we chose to prolong this journey and get off the freight train. And in the last couple of months, I have felt my energy levels slowly coming back. And I don't have any regrets for taking a break. I feel like it was the right thing to do. I listened to my gut feeling, and I am replenishing my soul. I'm replenishing my heart, my mind, my body, and I am slowly getting my energy back. I've been doing a lot of journaling. I've been reading self-help books. I've been going to conferences. We've been working on our marriage, our communication skills, understanding the different personalities that we have. And there's been a lot of changes that have happened in the last few months that we would not have had the opportunity or the energy or the time to do if we were still doing IVF. So I hope that when we go back again for the next round, that we will be at a much better place, because we chose to be uncomfortable. We faced it head on. And it freaking sucks, but it's worth it. So if your heart is telling you to take a break, take a break. If they say to you, this is a freight train that you can't get off, they're lying. The counselor said to us, he said, you have no control in this journey. You have to let go of all control, and it's really hard, but you literally have no control. And me and my husband were like, no, we do have control. The reality is, we could choose to not do IVF. So we do have, don't tell us that we have no control, because it's true, you don't have a lot of control, but you do have control. You have control. You can choose to take a break. You could choose to not do IVF. You could choose to not have children. But if you do choose to do IVF, then try to do it in a place where you are more mentally prepared to handle it. And we can choose our thoughts and we can choose our feelings, and it's so hard, so hard. But it's worth it. It's worth it to develop your own strategies, your own skills, your own self-development. This is your time. Do it. And listen to your gut feelings. And if you're good and you're like, actually no, I'm feeling really good and I'm ready to keep going, then do it. But if you're just doing it for the sake of doing it, or because the doctors or the counselors are telling you to do it, or because even your partner or your husband's telling you to do it, but deep down you're like, I can't possibly go through another cycle right now, then don't. You can take a break. It's your choice. 100% responsibility. 100% responsibility. Anyways, that's my rant. But listen to your soul. Listen to your heart. Become more intuitive. Tap into it and it'll get stronger with time. I love you guys and I wish you the best.